Most of the systems of project management that you read, they start with building a vision for the future of the project. They start by building a vision and a mission, and then goals, and then objectives, and then a strategy, and then activities, and then tactics, and then evaluation. Those sorts of management theories tend to be very linear and incredibly left-brain. What we found with Dragon Dreaming is that they only deal with half of the person. They deal with the planning and the doing stages of projects. But when you look at the origin of projects, all projects start in a dream. It's a dream that begins the motivation. And conventional management theories don't talk about dreaming hardly at all. They don't recognise the contradictory and the nature of dreaming. It's not a linear, logical, rational process. It is completely non-linear, non-rational, non-logical. But it's a source of creativity, it's a source of innovation, it's a source of change, that it all comes out of the dream. And then they think that once they've created the project and the project's done, that's the finish. And they forget that 25% of every project needs to be celebration. By ignoring celebration, the projects the conventional projects you see, they're projects of control, they're projects of bureaucracies trying to force people into doing things that the people don't want to do. We need to build celebration into every stage of the process, and if there's one thing that Dragon Dreaming does, it attaches a new importance to the process of celebration. And so what we find is that as we get in touch with celebration, with dreaming, we're not just working with the left hemisphere of our brain, we're working with our whole brain. We're working with the whole of the person. And the more we can liberate the wholeness that is at the source of all of us, the more we can liberate the dreams and the ceremonies and the celebrations and the stories that are associated with who you are as a person, the more you liberate the creativity that lies at the heart of every individual. And given the problems that we face in the world today, in terms of the financial crisis, in terms of climate change, in terms of global warming, in terms of peak oil, in terms of the extinction of species, we need to liberate creativity on a scale that's never before been attempted on the planet. Only by liberating the creativity that lies at the heart of every single person, man, woman and child, will we be able to generate sufficient enthusiasm and joy and playfulness that we need to create a sort of future that works for everyone on the planet. And by everyone, I'm not just talking about human beings, I'm talking about the more than human world that we are embedded in, the world of the living planet itself. While we say every project ever done in the world starts as the dream of one person. One of the things I've said this morning, and I say it again, is that 90% of projects get stuck in the dreaming stage. And the reason why is people don't share their dreams. What happens is people learn that dreams don't come true. Because in the conventional world, dreams do not come true. And so what happens is people lose their dreaming. And you can see it in people's faces. If you look at the quiet desperation in people in peak hour traffic in the city, and just look at their faces, you see people who've lost their dream and they're just existing from day to day. So the first step to do is to recover your dreaming. And with celebration, is that it's celebration where people come to see that they are recognised for their contribution, they're recognised for the changes that they have made, and that they are deeply honoured and deeply celebrated as a result. You may know the movie Avatar. There's a scene in the movie Avatar where the Na'vi, alien woman, turns to the human avatar and she says, "I see you." It's the process of truly being seen which is the source of unconditional love. When you are deeply seen for who you are, that's the source of the unconditional loving in action on which Dragon Dreaming is based. So what Dragon Dreaming is It's about a way of creating outrageously successful projects and organisations for the great turning of our culture away from the destruction, away from suicide towards love. Dragon dreaming, ultimately, is unconditional love in action. And that's what it's all about.